Welcome back to Raw Guitar Confidential with Scott and Ryan. On today's episode, another great one gone too soon. We have our AI overlords as a special guest, and I'm going to play a very personal game of Never Have I Ever. Stay tuned.
Kind of gets me counting in, man. Now it's time to go. It's go time. Oh yeah.
Generally things are better when the metronome's counting. But yeah.
I mean, but who's counting it? You know, you and I are. Haha. No, I do like to do
one two Well, you know, we're pretty close to Halloween now.
That's true.
So it's spooky season.
It is spooky season. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it's that. It's actually lovely and fall and autumnal and candy and pumpkin spice lattes and all the good and the reverie and merry meant to be made. I mean, I got chai lattes and coffee and autumn leaves and walking around, you know, smelling pumpkin pies baking.
Dude, the souls of the restless fucking dead and the powers of darkness like rising from the other side.
What other side? There's no other side.
To mingle with the living for, you know, one night.
I was saying they rise to feast upon the flesh of the living. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Would it be?
Yeah,
I don't know how cool that would be, actually.
Dude, it would be. Look, I mean, hey, look, if the world's if I'm gonna live to see the end of the world, I think like a zombie apocalypse would be kind of a fun option.
I hate to break it to you, there's almost zero chance you're going to live to see the end of the world.
No, I know. Well, I agree, of course. But
well, I mean, it depends on what
if I did.
Wait, does the end of humanity mean the end of the world? Because then that, I mean, maybe there's a puncher's chance of that.
Well, okay, but I mean, like all of us live to see the end of our own personal worlds.
That's true. Well, I mean, you know, if you're a narcissist, then of course, then everything you do is the world. As the famous line, you know, our narcissists can't die because then the whole world would end.
Yeah, right. Okay, good point. Good point.
But if you mean the end of humanity, I mean, there's a puncher's chance we might live to see that. I mean, who the hell knows?
Right.
But when it comes to the end of the world, we got billions of years for the world to end.
I mean, humanity's definitely giving it a good shot.
Yeah,
like trying.
I feel like it's
an A for effort.
It's one of those things like they're like a walk-on who made it to the team or something like that. You know, the apocalypse is like a walk-on, a scrappy walk-on. It's going to try and give it a go. You know what I mean?
It's like the Rudy of the end times.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you can't do this, Rudy. You can't end the world. Like, oh yeah,
yes I can.
Damn, I respect you. You know,
and end the world for the Gipper.
Exactly.
The Newt Rockney of the apocalypse.
Gipper did try to end the world at one point too. So it's,
he did.
Yeah, it was good.
Fucker.
It was fun times. You know, we were kids in those times. It was great. You know.
Well, I mean, you know.
I think there's like drills, like the nuclear Holocaust drills we had when we were like kids. That was fun. You know
yeah, I mean? I'll say, you know, rock and metal is the language of rebellion, and there was a lot to rebel against when we were growing up. So
it seems like it's gotten more and more so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except the rebellion's like all underground because people go to stupid new country concerts.
Well, or like EDM and you know that kind of thing, dance parties and stuff. Yeah.
That reminds me, I had to let Misty borrow my relatively new car the other day.
Your car's very new. We're talking about relatively. It's like
July. It's October.
Oh, it's like 3 months, dude. Come on.
Yeah, like 3 months, like relatively. So it's not new. Like I got it last week.
Okay.
But
I would consider it new. That to me, I would put it on the umbrella of a new car.
Yeah, you know, it's been maintaining its new car smell pretty well.
Nice.
So I gotta
despite your best efforts, right?
Right. Yes. Exactly. Well, you know, I'm driving down to LA tomorrow with my buddy Andrew.
Yeah.
Who I don't know. I need to text Andrew to let him know that passengers of my vehicle
must not defecate. Is that what the next words out of your mouth are?
Well, that too.
Okay.
And are also required. Like 2 dudes in a car for like the 6-hour drive down to Los Angeles.
You know what that is? That's kind of an awesome screenplay right there. 2 dudes in a car on the way to Los Angeles.
Like, yeah, that's like the cue the. Well, okay. I wasn't going to cue Rolling Stones. I was thinking like indie rock.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's like an indie film.
What will they discover about themselves?
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. What will you discover about yourself? We discovered the cheese sandwich you left under the back of the car. Like, damn it, that's what that smell is.
Yeah, well, so I did just finish scrubbing the dead body smell out of the trunk.
Oh, nice. Well, it is Halloween time, so
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You know, so I don't know if Andrew knows this, but passengers of my vehicle are required to have listened to no fewer than 4 Makeup era Kiss albums in their entirety, which must include but are not limited to Alive, Destroyer, and Love Gun.
Are you talking the whole records or 4 songs?
The whole record.
Oh, my God. That's a high bar, man.
Yeah, dude, none of this, I listened to one song on Spotify bullshit. No,
I heard Detroit Rock City, man. I'm a fan.
No, listen, you have to... Andrew, I know you're going to be listening. You have to listen to the full albums, dude, or else, like, I mean, the car will be able to. It's a Tesla. It can detect whether you've listened to enough Kiss.
Yes,
I have it
peer
set
into your very soul. In fact,
that's right.
It's the latest app that you downloaded, right?
Now on my end, right, I had to set up a profile because Misty's 26-year-old truck that she inexplicably still owns.
Okay.
Broke down yet again.
Okay, well,
big shocker.
Cars break down, especially after 26 years. You know, they've been.
Yeah, and that's why you get rid of them after maybe like 6 years.
Sort of like a
maybe 10 years. After 10 years, like I just anyway.
It's like a Hollywood wedding kind of thing. Like after 4 years, you got to get rid of the right. You know, she's over 30 now. It's time to upgrade. That kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're fucking old, man. We're like closer to 50 than 40. Like, so it's like. I mean, we're gonna die soon, so like, let's have like new shit.
I think you're gonna live longer than you think, my friend.
Well, I mean, like in the
grand scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things,
yes.
Right? Like we're on the back half at least.
I don't know, man. I don't know. See what happens. You know, I think science is evolving at every moment, and you never know. I mean.
Well, not to get too off track, but like I don't know if our listener really understands that. Like, I mean, like, really, this whole podcast exists so that you and I document enough of our personalities that it can be fed into AI.
Yeah.
Right, so that there will be an AI doppelganger, Scott and Ryan, that will live forever.
In perpetuity, which means that there will be a Rockstar Confidential podcast forever. It'd be like in the year 2649 or whatever. It'd be like
that's right.
Doing what we do, talking about the grunge apocalypse. I love the idea that people in 2649 would know what the grunge apocalypse was.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah. If there's nothing else I leave as like a stamp that I was here, I hope that's my contribution to the world.
We've done well. Well, if you don't count the interviews, this is episode 99.
Yep, exactly. We're gonna party like it's 1999.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Exactly, dude. By the way.
Well, shit, 99. Oh, anyway, so finishing my point.
Right,
I had to set up a driver profile for Misty for my car. Which is great because, you can set it back to my profile. That way I don't get a concussion getting back into the car when she's done with it, right?
Okay, why would you get a concussion?
Well, because she has to, like, move the seat up to where it's kissing the steering wheel.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And, like, if I try to sit, and Misty is not tall,
yeah, people
right?
need to know Ryan is quite tall, so not quite NBA player tall, but tall.
I'm 6'2". I could be a point guard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely could. Yeah,
I could be a smaller point guard.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, in terms of height. Now, my knees are made of Adobe clay.
Okay.
So that dream died early in my life, and we've talked about that before. Yeah. But so I set up a profile for Misty, and I was hoping like we wouldn't have to deal with this, like because I didn't show her how to find like the radio or anything.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's labyrinthian actually. Looking at that interface. So
right, and so now I need to figure out how to because I read that like Tesla sent me like a little email saying like you've decided to share your car with Misty Johnson, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the little paragraph, it says like you can like deactivate her driver profile at any time. So I made sure to read that to her.
Okay.
Before I let her borrow the car, right?
Yeah. So once like all the new country stations have been reprogrammed.
Fuck,
stuff,
dude, she found it. So, dude, now I've got to wash off all the speakers in the car. I have to flush all the speaker cable, like right
ears.
Before a road
wash
trip.
out your ears too. I get like I'm gonna get some kind of
dude. I hate that. I hate that, like, when my car was away from me, it was getting abused like that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, all that KNCI garbage.
I tell you, man, you just got to show it all the love. So you got to just like nonstop
dude.
King Diamond all the way down.
I mean, the car is supposed to be smart, but I'm sure it lost, like, a couple of, like, brain cells. Yeah, so, like, making it, like, my formerly smart car just, like, got dumber.
Well... Sorry.
I just don't know, man.
We all have our crosses to bear in life, and that's
so So Andrew, I know you're listening, dude. You better start listening to some fucking Kiss.
Man, I got a terrible mission, dude. I think I wouldn't even meet your standard. I don't think I've listened to 4 Makeup era. I've listened to like 4 Bruce Kulick era ones. I definitely have, but I've never listened.
And me too. But
I've never listened to the Makeup. The Makeup era is never my thing. I mean, I remember hearing it, and it's fine, and it's
dude.
Cool,
the songs are good, man, and Ace is underrated.
A lot of it's good. I mean, it's just I don't like it enough to like go hunt it down. If that makes sense.
And some of it isn't as good, right? I mean, it's a younger band that's like growing, and I mean, their influences are stuff like the Beatles and
like
it's a little hard rock. Yeah.
Like Shock Me. There's like a bunch of good ones for
Shock
sure.
Me's fucking great.
I think even
Rocket Ride's
All
great.
Night's good one still. It's a classic. You know what I mean? That's kind of their living
for
after
good reason.
Night. You know that kind of thing. Obviously Let's say Cold Gin already. Detroit Rock City. There's some good tunes up there. You know what I mean?
Dude, Strutter's fucking great. Dude, that's a great song.
There's a good dozen, 13, 14 tunes I'm familiar with.
Dude, more than that. that?
Well, I mean, that I'm familiar with because I'm kind of a Luddite when it comes to the early Kiss
I
stuff.
Stole Your Love is such a great album opener.
Yeah, you told me about like that live show opener too, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Even man, I remember buying a vinyl copy of Destroyer when I was back in high school. I used to cut class and go to a place called Record Haven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like.
Well, I mean, the cutting class part I'm a little bit more lukewarm on, but the Record Haven.
Well, dude, I barely ever like set foot inside El Camino High School. That's fine. Doesn't matter.
You are still a very smart lad, and you've actually done well.
Thank you.
You've gotten through. You know what I mean?
Thanks. Can I have some more?
What's that book learning ever going to do for you anyway?
Book learning, right? Yeah. Shit, dude, I've got one of my buddies in high school. Like he straight up dropped out, and like now he's the one who he and I like backed over the math teacher in his truck.
Oh yeah,
to cut class, dude. He's like an executive chef now.
Ah, cool.
He's very fucking successful.
Very, very cool. That's awesome.
So like I'm not advocating for
But you're saying, I think what you're telling me, if I'm reading between the lines, is that all the kids out there listening, she just dropped out of school right now. Yeah. It doesn't help you at all. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's funny, man. Like I'm very fortunate to have achieved. Like I love my life, right? I love what I do, and I humbly think I'm like pretty okay at it, and things are going good.
I think you're doing good, man.
Thanks. Well, and hey, dude, you're a big part of that, man. And
thanks,
Ages, this podcast, and all of my friends and students.
I was
the
not
podcast. Like no one. Yeah, you don't have to fish, dude. You deserve it, man.
I wouldn't fish you this point.
Deep fishing does. Yeah, that's not my thing. I fished once before and we cheated. We just threw like food into the pond.
Oh, I thought you like M80s or something like that in this hill.
Well, I mean, I was in Alabama, so I'm sure that was like an option.
That's too sophisticated, man. These guys have bats. Hit them with the bat.
They got gunpowder.
Dude, smack him.
Dude, let me tell you, the insects out there are so fucking big.
I could see that, yeah.
And the arachnids, dude. Yeah. There were like spiders on like spider webs out in that weird like southern forest where the catfish pond was.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been to some
you
weird
went catfishing in Alabama, dude?
Yeah, dude.
What a story that is. Holy crap.
I've got family in Alabama. Dude, I rode in the back of a pickup truck. Like I was,
God,
I was 11.
Like so authentic.
Yeah, I was 11 or 12, dude. Like with my feet hanging off the back of a pickup truck.
Was there at least in the air some banjo music happening?
That's totally, perfect, probably. No, absolutely, man. Dude, definitely. I'm sure someone was
like, "How you doing back there, Ryan? We're fixing to go get us some catfishing."
Dude, like literally that.
Oh my God,
dude. So part of my mom's family is from a place called Walker Springs, Alabama. Population like 12. I'm related to all of them.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over by it's near Jackson, Alabama. Okay. It's just I don't even know if it even counts as a suburb.
It's known as the Paris of Alabama, I believe, Jackson.
Right. Yeah. so like it's like off of like a long like highway, So listeners, when I talk about like southernness and redneckdom, like I've got firsthand experience.
Yeah. This is not just standing like from this high tower like in the Bay Area, like pooing down and peeing on them. He's
like a couple years ago, I forget what it was. I said to my aunt, like my mom's sister, like I said something.
Wait, your aunt is your mom's sister?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that shocking?
What the hell? Oh my
God. Dude, I
God.
also have an aunt that's my dad's sister, and they're not the same person.
Oh my God.
So that breaks the Alabama thesis.
I guess that's true. So not all aunts are from Alabama.
Correct.
Say. Okay.
I mean, they could be.
Yeah, yes.
That's possible.
If ants that you have, there are some from Alabama and some who are not.
That's right.
That makes sense. I'm following.
So, anyway, so going back to visit family in Alabama, right? I'm feet dangling off the back of a truck, like going down like a dirt road at a very fucking steep incline.
Okay.
To get down to this catfish pond, like out in the middle of the fucking like humid ass woods of Alabama, a giant fucking.
So evocative. You're like a travel writer.
Yeah. Well, and so to go fishing. And we just like threw the food into the pond and the catfish bit, and then we hooked them and then drove back up the steep incline, and then they breaded them and fried them.
That all checks out. That seems about right.
Yeah. So my grandma Beth, my mother's mother, she had two sisters, an Aunt Tommy and an Aunt Willie Grace.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, and Willie Grace used to like sit at the top of a tree for fucking like hours like hunting like varmints and shit. My grandfather used to kill and eat nutria.
Yeah.
Which is a giant a giant Post Malone.
It's like a rodent,
like a Post Malone.
Yeah. But more talented with more to offer the world.
I mean at least like you could you could get protein from it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
And it smelled better than Post Malone,
sure,
right? So like it didn't the nutria didn't like smoke as much as Post Malone.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
So my grandfather used to like kill Post Malones and eat them.
Wow.
Like, just out in the forests of Alabama.
The sport of kings.
Yes, right. Exactly. So that's how redneck my family is. Yeah, I said something, and so like I said something about like Texas like a couple years ago to my Aunt Connie, and she's, well, how do you know? You've never. It's like, Aunt Connie, I used to travel for a living.
Yeah.
Like I used to work in corporate sales.
Yeah.
I've been everywhere, man. Like, yep. Dude, like
you've been everywhere. Yeah.
Yes, like Johnny Cash, as Johnny Cash sang.
Yeah. I've been to Texas. The words "desolate wasteland" come to mind. You know what I mean? That's.
Did you go to Austin or Nashville?
I've been to Austin.
Or what? Nashville's Tennessee.
Houston.
I'm sorry, Austin.
I've been in Houston and in BFE, like out in the middle of nowhere by the Panhandle and stuff like that. So it's just miles and miles of desert.
Yeah, I don't know why I have like Austin and Nashville associated in my mind.
Austin and Nashville are awesome cities.
Just big music cities.
Big music,
why,
like the last two really big music cities.
Nashville being in Tennessee, yes, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I think
southern cities,
but when I think of one, I think of the other.
And they're both similar aesthetics too. Like this, it's it's a bigger kind of city. It's more what's the word? It's more modern. It's more. It's like sort of diverse. It's got all kinds of stuff happening. Both big music capitals.
I wouldn't mind spending a little more time in Dallas. I mean, I've been to Dallas, but I mean, again, when you're doing like corporate sales stuff, it's usually for like a trade show, and you can. I mean, you can maybe get out to see the city, or maybe you can't.
You gotta be careful, man. If you stay in Dallas too long, they're gonna trade you to the Lakers. So it's just gonna happen.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I thought you were like the don't like yuck someone's yum guy.
I am the don't yuck.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just saying that's a danger if you hang out in Dallas too long.
It is.
That's
dude,
how it works.
Is.
I think that's the city law, city ordinance, like 2645.
I'd like to just go like tour like sites where they filmed RoboCop.
There you go.
Because RoboCop was filmed in Dallas.
I didn't know that. I would think Detroit, because it's set in Detroit. I can't believe they filmed it in Dallas.
Filmed it in Dallas, yeah.
In Detroit. That's wild.
Yeah, like the police station is like the exterior shots of the police station where like Officer Murphy works.
Yeah.
So like the bottom part is a real building. It's like the Dallas like Chamber of Commerce or something like that, right? And then they use a matte painting to make it look like a giant skyscraper.
Oh, okay. So
it's really
the bottom floor really existed there.
And then they used a matte painting for the rest of it. Like really clever.
Magic, right?
I know. Well, dude, yeah, definitely. That movie's a good example of that kind of stuff, like before CGI and all that shit.
Oh yeah. I mean that took over. That makes sense. But all right. So one thing I wanted to talk about today is we actually just lost another person just recently. Just like we lost Ace Frehley a couple weeks ago. We had Marcie Freed, former lead singer of King Cobra. What was the new Unruly Child?
Yeah.
Is that the new?
So Marcie's known for King Cobra, like primarily, not exclusively, but King Cobra, a band called Signal, which if you're into like Giant and Dan Huff and all that, like Signal was that kind of like AOR band,
melodic rock. Yeah.
I mean, Marcie was like the queen of AOR vocals.
Yeah.
Right, and then Unruly Child was a more recent project as of like 2010, 2011. I think I could be a little bit off on the exact like timing.
Great talent, great singer, and it's kind of a shame with King Cobra. I think King Cobra is one of those like early mid '80s bands that like kind of came and went, and no one
like
really,
85 smack in the middle, right?
It seems like it kind of would have been perfect. The kind of music they were playing, the kind of vibe of everything about that band was like perfect for the time, but it just somehow just came and went and didn't do anything. It
was fucking great. Like the songs were killer. Some of the band members went on to form Bullet Boys.
Yeah, Mick
Sweetie,
right? He's a great guitar player, by the way. I like Mick
totally
Sweetie
great guitar player. Our buddy Jeff Northrup was in a later incarnation of King Cobra.
And that wasn't Carmine on drums, right?
Yeah, so it's basically Carmine's baby, right? Like he'll say in interviews, he saw Motley Crue, which was like, three guys with black hair and then a singer with blonde hair.
Yeah.
So Carmine, being a dude with black hair, decided he was going to form a band that was like one dude with black hair and four guys with blonde hair.
Yeah, he's like, it's in your face, Motley Crue.
So there's some like marketing, but dude, they did a great job. They covered a song called Hunger. Which is also on the Transformers soundtrack,
which is great, by the way.
Which is like I'm talking about the anime Transformers, like the good one, not the shitty Michael Bay garbage Transformers.
Yeah, you're talking about the one that had Lion on it and stuff, right?
Yeah, that had Lion on it. Man, God, that movie really made me want to play guitar when I was a kid.
That was the time, dude.
It's fucking great stuff, dude. And anime still holds that promise, folks.
So here's the thing, though. Like, what do you think it is about a band like King? Because that's a band that people are like hardcore rock and metal fans know about King Cobra, but like, why did like the masses not buy in? Do you think? What was the thing that they were missing? They had the songs, they had a cool image.
I
they're
don't
in the
know.
right place at the right time. Do you have any kind of thoughts like why not? I mean,
I really don't, except that maybe somehow it didn't get enough radio play.
Like
that probably would have been the thing.
And the guy just not picking up and swinging for him, sort of. Or
could have been. Or, I mean, back then too, all the radio stations were a lot more independent, right? It's before.
So maybe it didn't have like a DJ. I'd grab a hold of it and say, I really like this or something.
I mean, I think it's either before or it's before we could feel the effects of Reagan gutting the FCC.
Well, a lot of payola started happening in the late 80s,
right.
too. You know what I mean? So,
which is kind of hilarious because in recent news, the FCC tried to put its foot down about some stuff, and I just thought to myself, fuck you, FCC. Like, where have you been since the 80s?
The goal is to ruin people's fun. That's the goal. So they're just going to show up everyone whenever that's going to happen,
Yeah, anyway. So...
they're the Mr. Hand of government agencies. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So it could just be that, like, a radio station just, like, there wasn't, like, a DJ that was, like, the champion. Maybe the payola thing didn't work out. I mean, you would think they would have had enough... Like,
they had major labels.
They had major label support, so they could have bought airplay.
And at that point, I mean, Carmine was pretty well known. It was like, I mean, he had just played with Ozzy right before that.
And he had been in Vanilla Fudge, and he's Carmine apiece.
Cactus, too.
Cactus, right. So,
yeah. He had this, maybe it was his 70s thing. Maybe he was, like, too known for, like, 70s rock. And
but I mean, who chooses their rock band in the 80s just exclusively because of who the drummer is?
Well, that sounds like something like an A&R person or someone like a marketing person might say, like, okay, this is a very 70s sort of thing. We need to have more of an 80s. We want younger guys who are just straight up 80s, not any kind of ties back to the 70s kind of thing. Because I think a lot of people, like,
I don't know.
The Scorpions kind of went through that a little bit. Like the early 80s, they were trying to figure out, it took a while for them to kind of get their 80s footing because they were a 70s band. You know what I mean? A lot of people kind of saw them as the Uli, Love Drive, Michael Schenker kind of version.
Yeah, but they already, like, when did Blackout come out?
Blackout 81.
Yeah, so they already had traction. They were getting traction.
They had to work to get that. They had to, like, reinvent themselves in a way. A lot of people, like, our age didn't know the Scorpions had a catalog that went all the way back.
So the thing about King Cobra, I mean,
Kiss also the same thing, kind of reinvented themselves in the 80s.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But, like, King Cobra was, like, ready-made.
Yeah.
I mean, they were perfect
I'm just
for
thinking,
1985.
Like, why would that be? Like, maybe because people see Carmine as, like, this guy from the 70s or something. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of,
I mean, maybe it just didn't get, like, MTV rotation. Maybe, like, the video for Hunger just didn't get enough play on MTV somehow.
I'm not as familiar with that album. Was there a ballad on that album? Because they probably needed a ballad.
Yeah, I mean, there's Boys Don't Cry. That would have been that's a good ballad, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, ballads, like, you needed a rocker and you needed a ballad. They had to, to push those songs. Boys Don't Cry. Like a mid-tempo.
Tough Boys Don't Cry, I think it's called.
You need a mid-tempo kind of rock song. You need like a fast rocker, and then you need like a ballad. That's kind of what,
Yeah, it has all of that. I mean, the album has, I mean, it's if so to all of our listener out there, if you want to listen to just like a really well-produced 80s rock album, I mean, really Ready to Strike is kind of like the essence of like 80s melodic 80s rock and metal. Like it's got everything
right in that zone, right? That same kind of
I mean, there's plenty of virtuosity. Like even Johnny Rod, the bass player, is good. He went on to play in Wasp.
Yeah, Mick Sweet is a great guitar player.
Yeah, Mick Sweet is a great guitar player.
You know him from Bullet Boys.
Boys, yep. And then God, who's the other guitar player? I hate that I'm forgetting his name. Mark. It's like Mark Saint. It's not St. John. It's like Mark something. I'll have to look it up.
Oh my God, the legendary Mark something. Dark Side.
God, yeah, right. That'd be that'd be kind of a cool stage name. You just Mark something.
Well, one thing
I love how when I go to my phone to look up King Cobra, it autofills immediately to King Diamond.
Oh, dude, that just tells you your phone knows you, man.
It does. Yeah, I know. My phone really knows me.
Yeah, it does. It's like, he's like your guy, man. It's awesome.
So and for those who don't know, that's King Cobra with K's, KINGKOBRA, because it's the 80s.
And they had a newer incarnation really in the last few years with Paul Shortino singing, which was kind of a different, it was similar style. It was definitely that same. So I think Carlos Cavazo on guitar.
Oh shit! It says that the latest there it is. The latest version has Paul Shortino and Carlos Cavazo.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty good stuff. I mean, the music is really solid. I didn't think it was like earth shattering, but it was good.
It's David Michael Phillips. That's the other guitar player. Yes,
wow.
so an early pioneer of the hyphenated name.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of the Jan Michael Vincent of the rock world.
Yeah, totally. Only I hope he's still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
But he didn't get to fly a cool helicopter with like lots of weapons and stuff.
Dude, the 80s were so good for like action TV shows. Oh my god.
Oh, dude, you know
what?
Dude, my relatively new car like fulfills every like Knight Rider kit car dream I ever had when I was a kid.
Dude, remember like Airwolf, Blue Thunder TV series?
Yeah, I remember that.
And
with Roy Scheider, right?
Yeah, I mean like all these like amazing. What was the one? Street Hawk, the motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle. Yeah, Street Hawk. Dude, remember Automan?
I don't remember Automan.
Oh, dude, Automan was like they were trying to like the way they achieved the special effect was different than Tron. But
was it kind of like Tron though?
It was kind of like Tron. So basically, like this, this dude who's like a computer scientist. His supercomputer, which is basically like an Apple IIe or something, right?
It's essentially like a high-powered calculator at that point.
Yeah, so like basically like the local police department decides to go high tech, and so the computer geek shows up with this computer, and then the computer like becomes like self-aware, and can project itself into reality as Automan.
That's
who's the superhero, right? He looks, so he looks like a Tron character.
Okay,
and his sidekick Cursor can draw vehicles for him. So one of the vehicles he can draw like a helicopter.
How did I not know this? I'd never heard of this.
It was one of those 80s TV series that was on for like one season and got canceled. But man. Dude, I used to love watching this like with my dad, right?
Kind of like Mantis in the 90s, that show Mantis with like the superhero. He's like a paraplegic, but he has like the suit he puts on and you can always power.
And he has this suit that he puts on and he's still a paraplegic.
Yes.
But his wheelchair goes super fast.
No, you like jump off buildings and stuff. It's crazy. It's like, but he's like, that's why no one suspects that he's Mantis. kind of thing.
So this one is so it's kind of like Manimal. Remember Manimal?
Yeah, I do remember Manimal. Yeah.
So this is kind of like one of those TV
the
series.
Bionic Man and Bionic Woman. I always throw those guys in there.
Right, but those had like multi-season runs.
Yeah,
and although I did love them, but I remember
actually the old Incredible Hulk series too. Yeah,
sometimes they still have reruns of that play on various
and of course
channels.
The A-Team. There's like all these like Knight Rider is another good example.
Do you like so like super vehicles were a big thing, but the cool thing about Automan is that his sidekick Cursor could draw like a Lamborghini.
That's so cool.
Now and the thing about the Lamborghini, so like remember the motorcycle races in Tron, how they make right angle turns?
Yep. And they have like the little trail behind them and stuff. It looks all badass.
Yeah, so that was like kind of part of the thing, right? So they get in the Lamborghini that's all like neon blue. It's just like the silhouette of like, just imagine all the lines on a Countach.
Yeah.
It's just that, right? And then, like his human companion would get in there, but then he'd get like smashed up against the door when they would make a right turn.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a right angle turn or whichever direction, right?
No, and then
he's all smashed up against the window. Yeah. Anyway, it was part of one of the sight gags on the show. Yeah.
Because look what we're doing. We're doing some crazy stuff.
So there you go, listener out there. Go ahead and look up Automan. It's on like YouTube. There's stuff on there. Yeah.
I can't believe I missed that one. That's
dude,
crazy.
It was so fucking cool.
So anybody who's younger, like anybody's like 20s and 30s, like you have no idea the awesome television that you missed out on when we were 80s kids. You know what I mean? That's so crazy. Anyway, I felt with that band like King Cobra, that kind of brings up a thing that I always think about too, is like, why is this band huge and this band not huge? Like, look at a band like let's say bands that came out around the same time, like 90s, let's say, and you look at a band like Blink-182, which is having a massive resurgence, and for some reason it's been really embraced by like I guess our generation, really.
Oh well, it's because they're all about mediocrity.
Do you think that? I mean,
we already talked about this.
That can't be the reason though. And then why is other bands that came out in that same time period like not? Like, what is it? I guess what the question I have is, what's the secret sauce that makes like one band break huge, one band be very good and have all the elements but not break huge?
I've got I have an idea here, so just keep going with that.
Okay. I'll keep walking down that path. But my gut feeling is, and I'll just tell you my 2 cents and jump in and let me know if you think I'm full of crap. My gut feeling is I think there's like a secret sauce that you have to be in the right place at the right time with the right song and the right look. If you don't have one of those elements, if one of those elements is not in place, it doesn't matter how good your songs are. It doesn't, So I'm going to guess that King Cobra didn't break huge because there was something missing. There was not a super compelling, person in the band. That maybe the look of the band was too like maybe like everybody else. It could be a situation where like the songwriting was good but not quite at the level they needed to. Maybe they were just missing the great power ballad. All those things kind of play into it. You know what I mean? All
right. So as a new feature on our program here, listeners, I've consulted with my robot assistant ChatGPT.
Oh my good Lord.
Yeah,
right, fine.
You know what?
Fine, I'm over there.
Well, we've got to use. I mean, look, we live in the age of AI, man. We'll what?
I'm just waiting for it to kill us all. Let's put us out of misery, man.
Dude, we're already the Walking Dead.
No, I'm not.
You know?
I'm totally coherent.
Well, okay, as Romero's Dawn of the Dead taught us, right? Like the zombies are actually still like kind of, there's still a flicker of their humanity in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's part of like the whole plot, right?
Okay.
I think it was Day of the Dead. That was the third one, I think.
One of the dead ones.
Where they're doing experiments on the zombies to see if there's like anything still in there, and there's this one zombie who's like he's kind of like the monkey who shows like signs of intelligence.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So, we're the Walking Dead, but we can still be in there.
Okay, what's ChatGPT saying?
Let's see what ChatGPT says.
What's the question you asked? What did you put in and we're getting back out?
Okay, so let's see. King Cobra's relative lack of mainstream success, despite strong musicianship, a record deal, and MTV exposure, came down to a mix of timing, branding issues, lineup instability, and market saturation.
Okay, almost everything I just said just now. So I called it.
Yeah, no, I didn't say you didn't. I just, we're just trying to pin it down, right? Yep. So number one, timing and oversaturation of the genre. King Cobra emerged in the mid-'80s when glam metal and hard rock were at their absolute peak. So like 85, like right exactly in the middle, right?
That's pre-Poison, though. I mean, Poison came out the year after that, and it kind of had a lot of that same stuff. I don't know.
It's a multitude of factors.
But why
does
Poison blow up and become gigantic, and then King Cobra doesn't? You know what I mean?
Well, I think the point is that it's just highly competitive just from the get, right? Yeah. So like it's not enough.
If there's any one little piece that's not quite there, you're not going to make it. Yeah.
Right. So the same space dominated by Motley Crue, Rat, Dokken, Quiet Riot, and others already established on the Sunset Strip. Let's see. Yeah, so playlists were crowded, it says, right? So the band's polished but not yet distinctive sound had difficulty standing out.
That's a good point there, too. So it's good music, but it was kind of like it was distinct from everything else that was going on.
Because there was so much awesome fucking music, just having awesome. So that's an interesting angle that we haven't discussed.
The reason like Rat and Dokken were so big at that point is that they had monster guitar players, and there was very distinct kind of style, and compelling frontmen.
Yep, and they were also earlier too, right? Like Rat,
just a couple years, but I mean, Rat didn't break till '84, really.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, I mean. But I mean, they had like monster guitar players. Not that Mick Sweet wasn't a great guitar player, but it's like he just didn't have like Warren DeMartini and George Lynch were like genre-defining guitar players. You know what I mean?
And I wonder if like with rock music being like a youth-oriented, or at least it was a youth-oriented genre.
Yeah, now it's not. Now it's very much middle-aged oriented genre.
So like breaking in 1984 instead of 1985, like that's an eternity.
Yeah,
right.
And also the guys in Rat were all in like their mid-20s. You know what I mean? And I think the guys, Carmine must have been like mid-30s at that point, probably, right?
And you know what? I think this might also like have something to do with it. Like, so a band like Rat had been like paying their dues on the Sunset Strip already
for like 5 years,
for a long time, right? Like out in the club,
Dokken too.
Yep, Dokken too. Like out in the clubs, like like testing these certain songs with audiences, and so they know what's going to be a hit and what's not going to be a hit, right?
And they were weeding out the weak ones and keeping the Spartans throwing the weak songs over the cliff. You know what I mean?
They were kind of grown organically, whereas like King Cobra seems to be manufactured by Carmine and the record label.
Yeah, like we need some songs that sound kind of like this. We need something that sound like that. You know what I mean? That's true. I can see that. You know, I mean, that's interesting. I think there's I remember Gary Hoey had a band called Heavy Bones.
Yep, I remember that
with Frankie Benali on drums and stuff. And
was that Shirtino on vocals too?
It might have been. I'm not sure, but I remember thinking the same thing. Like this band's got all the elements that you would need for this band to be big, but they didn't. They never really did anything.
Well, that album also came out in like 1990 or 91. That was like right pre-grunge apocalypse.
I thought it was like 89. I was like very late 80s. I thought, but it seemed like it was still in the zone. You know, by the time Firehouse came out, and Firehouse had massive hits and stuff.
That first Firehouse album is one of the best sounding albums.
Steelheart was in that same window. I remember.
Oh yeah.
And what's with Taiketo? Same time, like around 1991.
Taiketo had a couple of good songs. I don't think their albums were as strong.
No, but they had a couple good songs for sure.
Definitely.
But that was that same window when those guys kind of hit. You know what I mean? And I always thought especially the early 90s, that Saigon Kick was like really like unique, interesting. I remember thinking for a long time that band was going to be the future. Yeah. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's interesting. Now, another interesting thing about King Cobra, especially about Marcie Free, is that Marcie Free was a transgender person.
Yes.
Started in the early days of King Cobra as Mark Free. And that's something I really think is interesting, especially in like the world of hard rock and metal, which obviously has got a lot of very misogynistic overtones to it.
Well, people would think, but, and that's this is part of what makes a person like proud to be a metal person. Right?
Yeah, there's more. There's more.
We are generally more accepting, right? Like when Rob Halford came out, dude, he was embraced.
Yep, and that's obviously different than someone who's transgendered, but at the same time, it's more accepting than you would think, because people, I think, metal audiences get kind of pigeonholed as kind of meatheads, kind of,
right, because it's aggressive music. So and you know what, like, again, here's where the 90s didn't do any of us any fucking favors, because everything had to be super fucking like testosterone macho, like that's
Disturbed, Godsmack, that kind of
right
thing.
Now like everything had to be like Macho Man, like wife beater, backwards baseball cap, like bullshit.
Fred
right?
Durst, and I
know, it was just fucking stupid, right? Like
I think that was kind of more of a reaction to the 80s, like the trying to put as much distance between them and the 80s as they could. You know what I mean? Like there was not much nuance. It was just kind of
which is fucking lame. I don't see why you'd want to do that.
Because I don't. Well, dude, of course, preaching to the choir. Who knows why you want this music we're doing is so great. Yeah, let's do stuff that's way different than that. Like what?
So it's it's just a thing that happened, right? Yeah. Like hard music or like rock music had to become like super like testosterone macho, like insecure male bullshit. Right.
Yep. That's our generation, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome, guys. That's
and it's like one of the things that sucks about that cultural shift is that Dimebag's dead.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Right, that's absolutely connected.
Well, there's more factors in mental illness. There's all kinds of things going into that would happen to that guy.
That's true, but I mean, I think I think everyone does a disservice if they don't just recognize, like, Pantera was known, like, I mean, Pantera was a great band, but their fans fucking suck.
Yeah, the music is good, but the people who
dude, like, again, I got to meet Dimebag briefly, and he was a really sweet guy who was like super cool to hang out with, a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Very,
I heard
very
about
cool.
him. He's like totally like no airs about him at all, just like a dude,
just down to earth. Like he seemed. I mean, I'm sure he was just so happy every day, like, and grateful for his own career
and the success he had, which is his dream come true and stuff like that.
But the choice of Pantera to go like as heavy as they did with like Phil Anselmo, like in all of his like bullshit tough guy posturing like stuff, right?
Especially lately, he's at, like, I remember one of my students the other day, I was trying to teach a Pantera song. He's like, I don't feel comfortable learning Pantera, and I asked why, and he mentioned like the incident where Phil Anselmo did like the Nazi salute thing.
Yeah, Anselmo's a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
I mean,
you heard it here on Rock Guitar Confidential.
My understanding, he's just had a really rough life, and he's kind of
that's no
excuse. Product of that. I mean,
a lot of people have rough lives.
No, I get that. I'm not saying it's a pass. I'm just saying like the guy he's a knucklehead, and he just has never learned better. You know what I mean? It's
so getting back to Marcie Free, huge respect to Marcie Free for transitioning in the 90s.
Yep. Especially in the rock and metal world, and doing that, that's something that took a lot of guts and a lot of courage. I mean, really, for anybody who's doing that, that's a lot of courage. But I mean, in that, like, what's seen as like a very misogynistic, very sort of closed-minded kind of group. Yeah. It turns out it's not as closed-minded as everyone thinks.
It frustrates me to no end when I hear certain politicians describing, And look, I'm not going to co-op anyone's cause, but like when certain politicians describe trans identity as being a quote trend.
Oh yeah,
that's just so fucking disrespectful.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Because I've had trans friends for like decades.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean. There's been trans people in our lives for a very long time.
I think what it is this reaction
that we care about.
That people now have the freedom to just be who they are authentically and not have to worry about like hiding themselves or like trying to make someone else comfortable. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of like public intolerance going around right now,
that public
which is
intolerance
unacceptable.
Is a reaction to people just saying, "Hey, it's okay to be what I am." You know what I mean? That you don't get to decide how human I am. You're just, that kind of.
I think when certain people, whether they know it or not, when they're part of a high control group, I think they resent others who are just free.
Can be free to be who they are. Yep.
Well, no pun intended, who are free.
Yeah, literally.
Who are Marcie free.
It's almost like a writer wrote this.
No shit. No shit. So,
and I think that's, I think that the Rob Halford example of tolerance is a good example. I think the singer for Life of Agony who was also transgender, and I think that's something that, I don't know, I think it's like anything else. Whenever like somebody like breaks a trend and starts doing something else, there's going to be a reaction against that. And I think there's a period of adjustment, and then society kind of readjusts the boundaries, and then that becomes less controversial over time because people just say, "Oh, okay, this is fine."
I think I think some people. I'm going to try to be like delicate with this. I think part of it. So like gender expression is a man-made construct.
Yeah, you mean like masculine, feminine expression.
It's a human. Some things are like. I mean, hormones are not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, sex is not. I mean, it's like that. There's male and female genders. You know what I mean?
Right. So the fact of the matter is that like testosterone does increase bone density and muscle mass.
Yep.
Right. Like that's just but. Boys wear blue and girls wear pink. That's made up human shit.
Boys play with footballs and baseballs, and girls play with dolls, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's just all like. And so I think there's a segment of society that thinks that boys wear blue and girls wear pink. They think that comes from their God.
Well, there's so many things problematic with that.
There's every
It's like open that little. It's like a hornet's nest. Like, all right, look at all these terrible things.
Right. Yeah. There's everything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right. Like every single thing.
Well, I think that's why it's so threatening to certain segments of our culture, because like that's if you can question that, then you can question anything, and that's not acceptable.
So when people are clearly like good altruistic like members of society that are contributing members of society, even like a person like Marcie who rightfully had fans.
Yeah.
Right.
And was talented and great vocalist and like songwriter, musician.
Elite.
Yeah. So
right,
can't take that away. It does,
you cannot, right? Yeah. So when they see a person like that living a fulfilled life,
authentically too, not according to who you think they should be,
right?
According to their own idea of what they should be.
That makes people upset because they, like how is that possible when my God wants them to they're rebelling against my God? How is that possible? They should be suffering negative consequences for those decisions, and they're not.
Yeah,
I'm going to create negative consequences for them by discriminating.
Or maybe I can just have my consciousness raised and decide that hey, maybe my way of looking at the world is maybe an incomplete view.
Oh, but see that work to develop character, that takes work.
Yes, it does.
And
but I'm saying that also is an alternative.
As the popularity of Post Malone teaches us, the American people don't
celebrate mediocrity.
Don't want their entertainment to challenge them to work on their character.
I don't know. I think that's painting with a broad brush. I think there's people who are all over the place. I mean, there's people who love.
Well, of course. I mean, I'm not. You know what I mean. I just think there's enough of the people I'm describing.
They're not wrong. There's a sizable cohort of people who are in that camp for sure.
And there should be zero.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're ever going to get to zero. It's almost like
I'm not saying we aren't. I'm just saying it's better to shoot for the stars and hit the moon than shoot for the moon and hit nothing.
You're so right, man. That's absolutely correct. That is a great view. I think that's the way you should look at life in general. Like
I'm over here being idealistic, man.
Fear of failure is actually not the issue. You should shoot for as much success as you could possibly do, and then if you only, like you said, if you shoot for the stars and you only hit the moon, you know what I mean.
So I just, I think it's great that the tributes to Marcie Free are out there. Like I think it's great that anyone listening to this podcast is hopefully going to go find out about Marcie Free and listen to some of the music they made.
It was good music. I definitely like it.
Like great music. So you get to we lost another great musician, but if there's a silver lining, if you've never heard of Marcie Free until now you get to treat yourself to a whole bunch of new music.
Almost like it's like found money. It's like walking down the street and there's a dollar bill sitting right there. Oh my God, what's this? You know what I mean?
That's right. And it's so I'm going to focus on, and I'll admit, dude, I read some Yahoo articles and then, a person should never look at the Yahoo comments section.
Oh yeah. Did you look at the comments section? Oh my God.
YouTube, sometimes I just want to, you know what? I almost do that because I want to read the one post that pushes back against the bigotry.
There's nothing but bigotry?
Almost,
what?
Dude. Yeah, well, Marcie was trans.
I get it.
Dude, we just had a whole... anyway, I don't want to slip too far into politics.
Sure, I get you. But someone just passed away who's a talented musician and artist. It seems like why that's not time to start pissing on graves.
The trans community, which constitutes less than 1% of the U.S. population, was used as a political football in the last national election.
Well, you got to scare people to vote your way. I mean, remember Bush back in the day with John Kerry as a traitor kind of stuff. That kind of,
well, that was
It's a thread. Stupid. It's the same thread. You know what I mean? It's it's gross and ugly. But
anyway, I just want to. I don't know. I have this urge. I just want to see one person push back against all the bigotry. And there's those people out there. I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, I guess you could always make the argument like, how valuable is that when you're
and that's a waste of time because those people aren't listening or
there's no saying
minds.
You can't reason someone out of something they didn't reason themselves into.
Yeah, right. I mean? Yeah,
so
you can't reason with the unreasonable.
Yeah, if you didn't reason yourself into a belief, you're not going to reason them out of a belief. You know what I mean? It's like that's just you can't. It's kind of fruitless.
The prison of belief.
Yeah, fruitless effort in that situation. But I don't know. At the same time, though, King Cobra is one of those bands I'd look back, just getting back to the music side of that, like that kind of very good band. Probably should have been bigger than they were, especially considering who was involved in that band.
Let's see what else. Let's see what else our robot overlords have to say.
When are you and your kind going to put humans in the chains? What does that say?
So check this out. Here's an interesting one. Lineup instability. Okay, so the lineup changed frequently. Founding member Carmine Appice. It says ex Beck. I think they mean Jeff Beck. Yep. Bogart and Appice, Rod Stewart was a known name, but he was a veteran in a youth-driven market. Hey, I called that.
I called he's too old. No, I'm the one who said he's too old.
I just described. I made the point that like rock music at that point was a youth orient. So a year is an eternity.
I know, but I was saying maybe he's like a 70s guy. You know what I mean?
We both called it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're awesome.
All right, we're both good. I'll share the credit with you on that. But I feel vindicated by ChatGPT.
Yeah, look, ChatGPT is awesome. I mean, you either use AI or you get left behind by someone using AI.
Okay, fair enough.
So Rock Guitar Confidential embraces artificial intelligence. So this is just like our little research.
Up to this point, we've only really been on board with that when it comes to sex robots. Thanks for listening to the Rock Guitar Confidential podcast with Brian and Scott. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Now back to the show. That's the only time we've been really on board with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything starts with, that's how like VHS tapes started with porn. You know what I mean? Like the porn industry is always on the cutting edge of any technology.
That was a fair statement. You know what I mean? It also is, I mean, that's another way for the AI to end humanities. Once there's like, custom made sex robots, then humanity's
no more babies.
No more. Yeah, humanity's done.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
It's a biological dead end. You know what I mean?
So babies are all gross.
They're not.
That's awesome. Yeah,
they're awesome. They're wonderful.
My buddy Jason just had his 7th kid, and I asked
that
him,
feels like excessive. That's kind of
it is. I asked him when you toss the baby around like a football, like how do you get like a perfect spiral? Because there's no laces on a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know like how do you like position your fingers to get like a perfect spiral when you chuck the baby?
Is this a thing that happens? I'm not aware of this. This is as a person who's raised 2 humans.
Well, I mean, if you handed me a baby, I'd be like, I need to chuck this, and I'd want to like. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you would be handing me one. Like, do you want to play catch?
Especially knowing how you feel about babies. I don't know if you're really on board with handing.
I don't know, man. I mean, they're just gross and they poop and they all look the same.
Of the 2 of us, I'm the one who's raised 2 of these. So,
dude, I'm glad you survived, man. So. I'm so I'll tell you what. Like, one thing I'm so proud of is that I have never. And mark my words, I will never.
I have no idea where this is going. By the way,
I know you never say never, but I'm telling the world right now.
Okay.
This is how I know I've led a successful life.
Okay.
Right. I have never, and I will never, ever change a fucking diber.
Really? Okay.
Never.
I've changed countless diapers.
I'm so sorry for you, dude.
It was great, man.
I feel bad.
It's part of being a dad. I'm in on it, man. I'm in there. I'm in there doing the work, man. You had the kid.
Dude, I'm sure, dude, I know that there is no better dad than you, Scott.
Aw.
But fuck that. All right, so
I'm not going to say it's like the greatest experience ever, but it's what you do. It is what you do.
There's better experiences, you know.
Exactly. Totally. It seems like there's a long list of better experiences than that, but
there's stuff like getting a root canal, like that's better.
When you love a little person, you will do all kinds of things for them, and that's
I have youth in my life that I try to be a positive influence on and stuff, but like one of the best parts is that like they're not not mine.
Yeah, go back to your parents. Yep.
Right.
It's almost like your permanent grandparent or something, or uncle.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when they end up going to jail or something, like it's not up to me to bail them out.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like the parents' job.
And you blame them like, oh man, I can't believe your kid's
Right.
such a failure. What'd you do? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll give them the scared straight speech. You know what I mean? But like, I'm not like financially like liable.
Yeah, exactly. Or
so
criminally
awesome.
liable as far as I know.
Criminally liable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. It's great. And I never have to change a fucking
Yeah.
diaper.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much beer you give them at the lessons. You know what I mean? You can't.
Right.
You can't be held up.
Which again, with Halloween right around the corner, it's time to leave beer and cigarettes out.
like a little bowl in the front of the house. Like, you know,
dude, Misty was
take one each or something.
Misty was cleaning, you know, so I stopped smoking like 4, 5, 6 months ago. I don't know.
Good for you, man.
Ago. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, I feel better. But Misty was cleaning on top of the refrigerator, and she found a pack of cigarettes.
Yep. So that's trick or treaters right there.
Yeah, I told her just hang on to it and just leave it out for the trick or treaters on Halloween.
Yep, and they can recreate the cover of 1984.
And of course, she's all no. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Van Halen cover. That'd be perfect.
Yeah. Or that'd be like the costume that goes the baby from the Van Halen cover. You know,
talk about product placement. So here's so let's see here. So so he was a veteran in a youth-driven market, and the constant turnover among vocalists. So Mark Free, I swear, was on the first like couple of albums. And then Johnny Edwards was on the third album, right? And that's where our buddy Jeff Northrup played guitar and had some songs
was
on
Mick
it.
out of the band at that point? Or was
So Marcie Free was out of the band at that point.
Was Mick the guitar player out of the band though? Was he still hanging in? Was he in Bullet Boys at that point?
No, Mick Sueda.
What was it, 89, right? When Bullet Boys came out?
I think Mick Sueda was on the first 2 King Cobra albums, and then Jeff Northrup and the other guitar player with the
the long name, Michael
David
Vincent,
Michael
right?
Phillips.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. I'm sorry, that wasn't John, man. He's
so,
Airwolf. Yeah.
So he was the other guitar player, yeah. So, but I mean, dude, songs like "Take It Off" with Johnny Edwards on vocals, Jeff Northrup on guitar.
I'm sure
it's
killer
a great
stuff.
song.
I'm sure it's killer, but
I encourage everyone to go to YouTube and check it out. Like King Cobra 3's got some great songs on it. So yeah, fans never had long enough to form a consistent connection with the group's face.
That's a band too. I don't think ever we got a chance
know.
to go out and do a lot of touring either. Like where they were like out like opening for somebody like went with Motley Crue. If they went out with Motley Crue for like 2 legs or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some South America stuff. Like I know there's like some shows.
That would be a good opportunity for them. Like if you look at like a band like Rush, for instance, they got to go and tour with Kiss for like ever.
Oh,
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Well, and Rush had a DJ up in Cincinnati that was like really jockeying for them.
Sure,
right?
But they got that also that, and then like got to go tour with like Ted Nugent, go to like Kiss and stuff back in the day. And they had like years of doing this. Like when they're because they had a couple hits right off the bat, like Working Man's a good example. Yeah, and then they toured, and then by the time they got done with like maybe 5 years of touring, they'd play for so many people. Yep. You know that audience is there. I think King Cobra probably didn't get that opportunity to go do long legs and stuff. And it might have been because Carmine was kind of a hired gun too, because he would be jumping from project to project and then kind of paying the bills and stuff. He's a drummer, so I don't begrudge him that. Yeah,
I mean, if you're a drummer, you got to go where the getting's good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So Rod Stewart's going to tour. I'm going to get this much money per show, as opposed to I'm going to go tour with King Cobra for free, basically, and take out a loan from the record label for that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Well, and so there's the other thing too, right? Record label and marketing limitations. So their label, Capitol Records, didn't push them as hard as higher earning acts. Mm-hmm. So the debut album, Ready to Strike, in '85 had some strong songs, Hunger and Shadow Rider. Although I don't think Shadow Rider is as strong. I would pick some other tunes off of that album. Like the album opener is fucking great. But it suffered from modest promotion compared to similar acts. Their second album, Thrill of a Lifetime, in '86. Look at that. Debut album in '85, then the very next year you get another album. That was totally
normal back then, like a year every year.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Or at least 2 years, like the really long way 2 years. That's why Def Leppard's get crap for like, it took you 4 years to make an album or something like that,
Dude, remember when that felt like an eternity?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Waiting for Hysteria.
Yeah, exactly. Pyromania was '83, Hysteria is '87. Like, oh my God, what took you guys so long?
Yeah, that's wild.
Nowadays, that's just like a typical, it's like 6 years between albums, like no one even blinks an eye. You know what
I mean, if it's even an album, it's usually just like an EP
or 3 songs released online or something. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
So their second album, Thrill of a Lifetime, leaned into a more commercial pop metal sound, including the song Iron Eagle Never Say Die from the movie soundtrack. So they got a movie soundtrack song but it was a lot more poppy.
Yeah.
Which it was. Again, I recommend everyone. It's a fun music video because you have Louis Gossett in there, like as his character from Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
And then clipped in with like some footage of like the fighter planes and
That's
stuff.
a great opportunity for those guys to be a part of the movie soundtrack.
Oh, dude, and I'm sure, like Top Gun was still like super hot shit. Well, it was '86. That's when it came out.
That's why Iron Eagle came out.
That's why Iron
Top
Eagle
Gun was
came
such
out,
a massive success. It's like, okay, let's put Iron Eagle out too. So like seeing
people
like fighter plane movies. You know what I mean?
So seeing like Johnny Rod in like a fighter pilot jumpsuit with like short hair, is hilarious. And there's scenes of like Carmine in like a fighter pilot like jumpsuit, like they're all working out in the gym getting ready, like he's doing like lat pulls and shit. It's hilarious.
That is hilarious, dude. I love that would even happen.
But despite all the camp, like Marcie Free's vocal performance, like the range required to sing that Iron Eagle song, is fucking elite, and it's not auto-tuned or melodyne
because there wasn't an option for that back then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So even the
you had to do it for real. In other words, folks, you had to actually sing for real.
So like even the hokey stuff in 1986, like the really cheesy shit, like you still had to be like a top percentile boss.
Everybody in the band was elite.
Right.
It had to be because there was no faking it back then. You know what I mean?
You don't get to hang around like fighter training school with Louis Gossett if you're a hack.
Yeah, that's where they cut the line. Where they're like, "No, you're not good enough. You go away."
Right.
What's a crappy band like
you might if you're just like a bedroom hack, you might be like good enough for like Pewter Eagle,
not Iron,
or like Pop Metal Eagle.
I actually
but
can't remember.
Not Iron Eagle.
I remember the movie. I remember watching it, and like the second movie, and I don't remember anything about either of them. It's like I know that's like fighter pilot stuff. They're like fighting against.
That's all you need to remember. Really,
it's like communists or something.
There's airplanes and there's explosions, and then there's Louis Gossett as like the flight commander guy. He's like the drill sergeant,
drive
flight commander,
faster
dude.
and harder and whatever.
Right, fly better.
Yeah, exactly.
Now.
Shoot those other guys down. Don't let them shoot you down. No, I said shoot
those
them
commies.
Down. Yeah, exactly.
For capitalism.
Exactly. That seemed like most movies back in like 88, 86, 87. It's like, fighting for capitalism.
So it's like there's that video game Helldivers. It's kind of like Starship Troopers.
Oh, okay.
But like so basically like you're fighting for democracy by like killing bugs on other planets and shit. It's hilarious.
Yeah, as you do.
And so
that's George Washington showed us.
So you all have your own like battleship that flies you through the galaxy. I named my ship the Emperor of Democracy.
Palpatine democracy.
Kind of sums it up, right? I'm sure that's what they're gonna like. I'm sure we're gonna find out that like Air Force One is renamed the Emperor of Democracy like any day.
I would not be shocked.
I would not be shocked.
There's so many things that could be happening that I would not be shocked.
Once we receive it from like the Qatari government.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm sure that's all. It can be a very exciting moment for everybody. I'm sure.
It'll be fucking great.
So, but I mean, long story short, that's one opportunity for King Cobra to get like a movie soundtrack. Like it's one of those things like where the credits roll, kind of. That's when the song comes up, kind of thing.
I mean, I don't know where. I mean, I'd have to rescreen the movie to see if it pops up anywhere.
I mean, that seems like that's a big deal. If you're the credits rolling kind of song, you know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh God, that'd be fucking awesome. Are you joking?
Yeah, that's what
shit,
you want.
They need to come out with like Iron Eagle like 7 so that they can have Rising on the soundtrack by X Aegis. That would be a perfect song for. That would be a perfect. Our song would be a perfect song for like a fighter plane. I wrote it that way.
Yeah,
the riff. Anyway,
we should speak it into existence. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to manifest it. Folks.
Oh my God, the solo. I do the harmonic squeal at the beginning of the solo. It's like taking off, and the fighter jet taking off. It's just perfect.
And your feature solo, same thing. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Perfect. You know what I mean?
So there we go. If there's any movie producers out there listening, if you're making a fighter pilot movie,
at this point they really owe us for all the brilliant like treatments we've been like just kind of spitballing here on this podcast.
Agreed.
We've got so many amazing ideas. Even yours, like you and your buddy, like jumping in the car, going to LA. See what's going to happen. Put on the soundtrack of our lives, that kind of thing.
Actually, we're just going to listen to Merciful Fate. I'm going to give him a full Merciful Fate King Diamond education tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought you were going to do nothing but like the first like 5 Kiss albums, like all the Sarah stuff.
I can't be responsible for Andrew's lack of education going into this road trip as far as that goes. I mean, I can't. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. I can't like fix everything all at once.
That's right. I think Jesus built it in 4 days. I'm pretty sure that's the history, right?
I think so. I mean, yeah, that's what it says in Genesis.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah,
like,
why not?
I just thought of it just now. So
just whatever. It doesn't matter.
Probably true. It's like,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I can't help Andrew through all of his problems. You know what I mean? All at once. So,
now, do you forgive me for being not such a huge early Kiss fan?
Dude, there's still hope, dude. You can. I think it would be healthy for you to go back and listen.
I feel like I need a time machine and Steve Vai and Eddie Van Halen to make it right. I'd have to take them back and say, okay.
Well, so you got to understand, like Ace didn't have access to Eddie Van Halen. He came before Eddie.
I know.
Van Halen.
That's what I mean. That's why it just
he had access to like Jimmy. That's
why it didn't feel like it was for me. Like it felt like it was missing a certain.
Well, you can like other stuff.
Je ne sais Halen.
You can like other stuff.
I know. It's just that's what I was looking for. Like,
There's
you have to understand when I discovered Kiss is probably like I'm gonna guess it's like 86, 87 when I discovered Kiss, and by then Bruce Kulick was already in the band for a few years, and it's just like
so you got to go back. You got to go back and you have to embrace the
makeup
Ace,
era Kiss stuff. Just felt like it wasn't for me. I felt like that was someone else's music. It's kind of like Zeppelin in a lot of ways. I felt that same way about Zeppelin wasn't for me. Like Hendrix wasn't for me. It was someone else's music. You know what I mean? I remember feeling that way when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old.
I think some stuff is for everyone.
No, I think now I feel that, but I know at the time I didn't feel that.
No, I get that.
So I was like, music started in 1978 and went forward from there. That's
so you get to discover it. You know what? And I think maybe a better entry point for you would be like the Fraley's Comet stuff.
Yeah, and I did check out the Fraley's Comet stuff. And I thought it was incredibly fine. It was just fine.
It's weird in a fun way.
It didn't rock as hard as I wished, and it didn't have any shredding. So I was kind of
well, it does. It's just Ace shredding.
Yeah, it's Ace style. It's like 70s style shredding. You know what I mean? Kind of.
It's a little. But so there's something about Ace that's like it's not like technical shredding, but like but the way he chooses out notes is still really cool and interesting.
He's got a vibe.
Right?
No doubt, he's got a vibe. I was just waiting for bar and tapping and arpeggios and stuff. I wanted like more modern kind of approach to it. You know?
What I mean, you can't expect that. Out of Ace.
Which is why I listened to it. Like, oh, that's fine,
but it's worth. But it is still worthwhile, like getting in touch with what makes Ace great.
You got to remember though, like a 13-year-old Scott, I also had the option of like XYZ and Dokken.
So did I.
And Warren DeMartini and Rat and Winger and I had White. I got John Sykes and Blue Murder and Van Halen and Vi.
I know. I'm just saying. I also
had all these monster players. It's just like dude. I mean, yeah,
I know.
Ace is fine.
This will come as a shock, but I also had access to all of those things.
And you're similar age. It's one of those things. It's kind of like I just wasn't into that as much as the other guys who are like so much more better. You know what I mean?
I would say I'm equally into both.
Okay, well I appreciate that.
I love it all.
I respect and admire that. That's
as far as that goes.
As far as why I didn't dig deeper, that's why though, because I had like all these other things. I was like, okay, that's fine. It's almost like you're at Halloween and someone gave you a thing of gummy bears. And you go, well, that's fine. But wait, there's a Reese's peanut butter cup right here.
Well, so I'll say it. But I mean, some days you might want a gummy bear, and some days you might want a peanut butter cup.
Yeah, but I pretty much would always want a peanut butter cup or like a Kit Kat or a Twix or like a Hershey or M&M, like which is to me like
unless you're craving a gummy bear.
I would, but that would almost never happen. You know what I mean?
But almost isn't never.
That's true.
And so
sometimes the gummy bear's right.
Dude, that one time you want a fucking gummy bear, you just want a fucking gummy bear.
So you're saying is the Ace Frehley is the gummy bear of the rock?
He could be for you. Exactly. I don't know. I think I'll tell. Like I remember.
I'll actually give him upgrade. I'll say he's the Skittles of the rock.
See, I don't like Skittles really.
But to me, I would like Skittles more than gummy bears.
Okay,
so I would
fine.
probably
just pick whatever candy. Yeah. And that's fine. I'll definitely say that when I first when I listened to my first Kiss album, that it wasn't I didn't know what to expect, and like the 70s-ness of it, and it was kind of like there's a little more Beatlesy kind of rock and roll-y kind of like, because I mean that was a major influence.
Yeah,
for
we're talking
guys,
like
right?
mid 70s, so not even late 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
But dude, they're like the way, if you're talking about the studio albums, and especially when you get to like Destroyer and Love Gun, and like maybe like Rock and Roll Over. There is something about the immediacy of and like the dryness but the loudness of the like Les Paul into Plexi tone that they have documented on those albums, and then the way like Ace just like squeezes every bit out of it, like it's
producing
fucking,
that? Was that Bob Ezrin?
Didn't Kramer do some of it?
He did some too. I'm
Eddie
not
Kramer
sure.
did some of it.
That's a huge thing. It probably was Eddie Kramer.
Eddie Kramer,
he was known for exactly what you're describing, like making those real present guitar tones.
Yeah,
and stuff,
dude. I mean, again, just listen to Shock Me, dude. The guitars are like, they sound fucking great.
Well, also that's like literally like vintage Plexis into like the Celestions vintage with like really good mics, running through super awesome like mic pre's and like analog consoles and stuff like that. And,
with like you've got your
Pultec EQs and stuff.
Dude,
and,
pre-amp, and it's I helped one of my students set up his DAW yesterday, and he was using just Ampire, right? Just the amp sim that comes with PreSonus Studio One, and it's got their version of it's called an MCM 800.
Okay.
Which is really a JCM 800. Yeah. And he was asking like how to make it sound better, and like so basically the way it was dialed, everything was just like right in the middle. I pegged the master, I pegged the pre-gain, and I pegged the mids.
Yeah, and then you got
that's it.
You have the option of loading some outboard gear on that too. Could you put like a compressor on that or anything? Or
dude, I didn't. I just did the. I was just like,
just get the amp sounding good.
Yeah, this is all you need to do to make this amp sound good enough.
You're gonna want to throw some like analog compression or something on there.
Yeah, and I mean he's using it to like I gave him a backing track that he's supposed to do some for his lesson project, right? Yeah, so this was just strict. Like he's not like recording a song for real. He's just playing along.
Yeah, so he just needed a good tone he could work with. Yeah.
Exactly right. So to turn his computer into his amp for this project that I gave him, right? And so
which isn't it so cool that we can do that? I mean, that's amazing. Yeah.
So as a demo and also to show him how to like here's how you arm a track, here's how you record a thing. But I pegged the mids, I pegged the master, and I pegged the pre-gain.
Yep.
And I just left the bass and the treble just right in the middle flat, right? Dude, that's how you make a Plexi sound good.
Yeah, I mean, Plexi, to get the kind of tone that people think of Plexi having, you have to dime the gain and the volume all the way.
The mids, you have to peg the mids.
Well, it's all freaking post, it's not pre-gain, it's all post-gain. It's all that sort of power amp saturation is what gets that sound,
so
you know what I mean? And
peg it all. And then it's the mids. You've got to peg
That's why Jose Arredondo was such a big deal, too. Take those Plexis and add like another gain stage. And get a little more, and that's what led to the high-powered amps, like with the Soldanos and the Boogies started coming out and stuff, where they started having that pre-gain. That led to the JCM 900 and the JCM 2000 series, where they started getting more gain and kind of taking what Jose was doing to these vintage Plexis and just building that into the amp right away. Mike Soldano is like the first guy to start doing that, and that's led us to what we think of as like modern high gain amps.
Dude, I wonder what Soldanos are selling for these days.
Well, Soldano still exists, man. It's
like not, now that nobody uses amplifiers.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But they're really more like playthings for the wealthy. You know what I mean? Like
we had
that's those go for about $4,900, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
We had a dude. I don't know if it's still at Skips, but somebody like we picked up a used Splon head.
Okay.
Which those are fucking awesome. Like I'm sure brand new is like a $5,000 or $6,000 head.
Yeah. Was it 50 watt or 100 watt?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I mean, it probably has an attenuator in it.
But usually most do now.
Yeah.
You can like 2 watts to 50 watts.
That's right.
Watts. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need more than 50 watts. Like all of my 100-watt heads, if they had an attenuator, I ran them at 50 watts.
Well, you want that because it actually burns the tubes hotter too. You know what I mean? Exactly. So that makes sense. Yeah.
So, and dude, it was on sale for like a quarter of that, or like it was a really attractive price. Like I don't want to quote an actual price. I don't want someone to go to Skips and be like, "Well, Ryan said on his podcast."
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I mean, dude, like it was so cheap, I could have just bought it like without worrying too much about it.
Yeah.
But fuck, dude.
The problem with Splon has is that it's like something that only so many people know about. Like your average schmo walking into a guitar store who doesn't know anything about amps isn't going to know what Splon is. They know what Fender is. They know what Marshall is.
But I know what Splon is.
No, I know. It takes a certain person to walk in the door to know what they're looking at. It's like if you had a Soldano or like an Engel or something like that. Like no one's going to know what Engel amps are. You know what I mean? But if you had an Engel Powerball in there, like but someone who knows what it is, like holy shit, that's what that is. You know what I mean?
So the weird experience was. Like, I know what it is.
Yeah. And you do. And there's a few other people at work Skips who know what it is.
And I mean, I could buy it.
Yep. You could. No one's stopping you.
But, dude, I've got 2 half stacks collecting dust up here in our studio.
Yep.
Because we live in 2025.
Yeah, because it's better to just put that into like an amp sim and get some plugins. You know,
and that just sits weird with me.
It does sit weird, which is I don't think it's almost like vinyl. It's not going to go away. No one's going to like stop using the amps, but at the same time, it's kind of morphed into this like thing. It's like a play thing for people who've got money. Does that make sense? It's not.
Yeah,
really
no, I get it.
Most touring acts don't use live amps unless they have a massive crew that can handle that shit.
Oh yeah, like that Splon was owned by a rich hobbyist.
Yeah, exactly. But like most people, especially like touring, if you're like a club level touring act or like a theater, you're probably just rolling in with like an Axe-Fx or some kind of, could even be something simpler than that, something where it's just really like a floorboard that's tied into your DAW kind of sort of whatever your effects are loaded in on a freaking hard drive.
Quad
and
Cortex.
That's going straight in with amp sims and speaker sims to the front house, so that way that there's no sound on stage. That's why most people tour now.
That's right.
It makes it a lot easier. You don't need freaking big rigs to carry that around. You just need a backpack basically, and you have that and backup. If you have an Axe-Fx or something, or
So that was an interesting experience.
It definitely is. as is listening to the Rock Guitar Confidential podcast with Scott and Ryan.
Yes, that's right.
It's an amazing experience, which you guys should always make sure to review and subscribe to our podcast.
That's right, and make sure to have the amazing experience of digging into the Marcie free catalog, right?
And while you're at it, you should go to our website at xagesband.com.
Oh yes, that's www.exagesband.com.
There you'll find samples of all of our music, links to purchase and download our music, as well as our social media links. Please make sure to follow us on social media. And if you have anything nice to say, please reach out. If you don't, maybe just rethink it and then come back when you have something nice to say. And make sure to review and rate this podcast.
Or keep it to yourself.
Yeah. The nice things only. Let's be positive.
You know what? If you don't have anything nice to say, just head over to the Yahoo comments section where you can where you can be with your own kind.
Yes, exactly. That's where the trolls. That's the under the bridge part. That's what the Chili Peppers were saying.
Didn't the Chili Peppers write?
Yeah, exactly.
You beat me to it, yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time. Take it easy.
Peace.